right? And you wouldn't be able to live here. It's the Goldilocks zone. It's right in between. Seahawks are in a Goldilocks zone over the next year or two, where you've drafted a lot of good young talent. It's had enough time to be in the league and percolate, Brock. That's for you.
Love that word.
There you go.
Like the Beverly Hillbillies.
But they're not coming apart at the seams yet.
Yep.
And we saw what that looked like, right? With the Legion of Boom. You saw it a generation before that. It happens in the NFL because of the salary cap, because of the pressures that the league system puts on every team, and because of the egos as well. Eventually, success is hard to maintain unless you are absolutely ruthless. And most teams, most people are not. Are the Seahawks entering the Goldilocks zone?
Yeah, I think in Maura's email last night, as she laid that out, I don't want to misrepresent it, just kind of talking about player empowerment, right, in the voice. And we have seen that grow over this league over the last 10 years in ways it never did before. That the Jalen Ramseys can force their way out, that Deshaun Watson can force his way out, that you have enough voice. And, in some ways, Russell Wilson, at least as it's been many ways characterized, Aaron Rodgers, I want out. And even through the most difficult constraints.
Peyton Manning faking that neck injury to get out of Oh, sorry. That one didn't happen. Sorry. Just trying to get you in trouble. It's not
I didn't want to give you a watch your mouth today after I gave you 2 of those yesterday. So I really didn't want to do that.
I'm just kidding. Obviously, that didn't happen. He had enough HGH. He could have stayed as long as he wanted.
You are seen from a player empowerment, but then culturally within your team, how many times, Salk, over the years have we seen Pete on and off the record talk about some of these things like, yep, good luck to you guys. Yep, good luck handling that success. Like, welcome to my world. Welcome to handling prosperity instead of climbing that mountain, all being in it together, understanding where the credit goes and how it's shared amongst everybody. The Denver Nuggets, man, we're on an 8-year climb, peaks and valleys, what Joker talked about, right? Failures. And then, now they're at the mountaintop. Well, how are you going to handle all that prosperity? How are you going to handle all of that success? What does that look like? We have seen that with so many teams over these last 10 years plus. Handling prosperity and success is more difficult. It is more difficult than handling adversity. Handling adversity brings people together. Handling prosperity separates families. I think I've told you this story. One of the most fascinating speaking events I've done in my life, and I loved it. And I've thought about it a lot after the fact. As I was over in Lake Chelan, I don't know what we're ranking today, but Mount Rainier, Lake Chelan, beautiful places in the state of Washington. And I was speaking to a family that was trying to transition from the second generation to the third generation. They were a big real estate trust, right? And lots of land, lots of things, and they were smart enough to have hired a really brilliant guy to kind of oversee that and be a third voice, right? An arm's length and outside the family, not attached emotionally to really, because you know what the numbers are, Salk? Staggering in how second to third generation family businesses and families just cannot make it. Cannot make it. First to second, you can make it. The number's pretty good.
So parent starts a business, child has success, grandchild screws it up?
Brutal with the grandchildren, other siblings, other family members, right? All of them. I watched a dear friend of mine and their family business, super successful, all working together and tried to put constraints in. And hey, for those to work in the management side, they've got to do this. They've got to cross this bridge. There's nothing going to be handed to them, and try to do that in writing. And then all of a sudden, I know what we wrote. I know what we agreed to, but come on, he's worthy of it. He's put the time. No, we can't do that. And guess what? The whole thing imploded and blew up and never imagined it would. And so it is so difficult to do that and handle that prosperity. And it is no different in sport, in any of these sports. And because, as you said, the constructs of the way that the thing is built in the NFL.
I mean, the NFL just compresses all of the pressures that you've just mentioned, magnifies them, and makes it worse, right?
And wants to spray that fire starter on it.
It's like the greenhouse gases on Venus, excuse me, Brock. I get confused there sometimes with those terms.
There are other greenhouse gases.
Right, exactly. So, I totally understand how.
Is that a band? Huh? Greenhouse gases on Venice? Is that a band?
It should be. Venus, Brock. It's
about
Venus.
to be, Brock.
It's right near Mercury. It's the next one after Mercury. Yes. Seahawks are in a pretty good spot, though. They're not dealing with any of those things. And the reason why is because they're young.
That's exactly it. You got all these rookies that there's no haggling. I'm on my rookie deal. I can't even negotiate. I can't. Tariq Woolen's so greatly outplayed his deal already. Yep. Rip it up. Nope. Sorry.
Can't
even negotiate with you. Yeah, I'd love to.
I'd even talk to you about it. It's my bad. Sorry. Just
3
can't
years.
do it.
You got 3 years.
Just kicker, dude.
Yep.
I'd love to. Just a kicker. Just nothing I can do. I mean, it'd be great. I mean, I'd like to, but there's nothing I can do. Sorry, you're just gonna have to make the league minimum for a fifth round pick.
Frankly, the Mariners, if their young core continues to do it, they should be in the Goldilocks zone too.
They should be,
because George Kirby and Logan Gilbert and Jared Kelnick and those guys.
Yeah.
Yep.